The Bitcoin price, it feels a bit disappointing, and that we should be higher with Trump and the ETF inflow, MicroStrategy and all that. It feels a bit delayed, but I guess we need a little bit of patience, because as we discussed in last videos, new all-time highs, which are basically the red dots, the new all-time highs are clustered. So once there is an all-time high, it's very likely there will be another all-time high. And you can see that very clearly from this chart. So I expect a lot more all-time highs this year. And this is exactly, by the way, why I prefer the stock-to-flow model over, for example, the parallel model. The clustered, non-linear jumps are what defines the price of Bitcoin. And it's not gradually over time. It's especially those short periods of time where the Bitcoin jumps to the next level.
The anonymous Bitcoin analyst Plan B is confident that Bitcoin is currently in the middle of a bull market, predicting a significant price surge is on the horizon. Just today, Plan B made a major announcement that he has sold all his Bitcoin and moved his investments into ETFs, citing the ease of management without the complexity of crypto keys. While this decision places him outside the maximalist camp, he remains bullish, forecasting a major surge in Bitcoin's price. Plan B points to rising investor activity and decreasing Bitcoin balances on exchanges as indicators of an upcoming price movement. Bitcoin's price has been steadily climbing in 2025, currently sitting just above $97,500. The analyst, known for his stock-to-flow model, remains positive after significant events such as the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs and the historic price movements that followed the Bitcoin halving. He believes Bitcoin is on the verge of a major breakout, drawing a comparison between the current $90,000 price range and Bitcoin's consolidation around $10,000 in 2020, just before a massive bull run. According to Plan B, Bitcoin is now in the phase of the market cycle that precedes explosive price movement. He predicts Bitcoin's price could double by the end of the year. Plan B expects the next few months to be crucial for those tracking Bitcoin closely. Price pumps, coupled with sharp corrections, will likely lead to massive gains in 2025. As institutional adoption continues to rise, even higher highs are expected, signaling a monumental surge for Bitcoin in the coming days and weeks.
Stop. You don't have time. Don't miss out this 2025 bull run. Educate yourself first ahead of the crowd. We have created the ultimate step-by-step crypto cheat guide that will guide you this bull run. Unlock the secrets of crypto and make smarter investments today. Now by clicking on the link below to get your exclusive copy just under $10.
All the Bitcoin gains are 6 months before the halving until 18 months after the halving. Every halving, it's the same pattern. And, up till now, it also holds for this 2024 halving. So if we talk about colors, look at the RSI, the Relative Strength Index. It's 76 right now. Orange, 76 is above 50, so it's an uptrend from 14 months, right? It's a Relative Strength Index is calculated over a certain period. It's 14 months. So there is a uptrend, not as steep as a red period would be, with RSIs of 80 and higher. RSI is 76, so it's a relatively okay uptrend, but not the FOMO part. The orange is very comparable to the end of 2020, or even more to the beginning of 2017. So we had orange, yellow, orange. Same here, orange, yellow, orange. Or even if we compare to 2013, the orange was the start of this, cluster of all-time highs, if you will, cluster of RSIs of 80 or higher. And I expect many months this year in 2025 with an RSI of 80 or higher. In fact, to be specific, I expect at least 3, possibly 4 or 5 months of red dots, which means an RSI of 80 and higher. Now, what's very interesting, if we look historically at those points, where the RSI was 80 or higher, then we'll see that the average return in those periods, in that red dot areas, was 40% plus. So that means a 1 month of 40% plus would be from today's 100K, 140 in February. And, well, since I expect multiple months of red dots, at least three times 40% would bring us from 100K to 270K, which is about here somewhere. This is the 300K line. So that's the absolute minimum Bitcoin price that I expect in 2025, 270,000. Now, if we look at 4 months of 40%, that would bring the current 100K to $380,000. And 5 months would even bring it to $530,000. So that's above this dotted line. So we'll see what happens. These numbers, the 270, 380, and $530,000 Bitcoin, are much higher than what most people expect. In fact, today's poll on Twitter, on X, shows that 3 out of 4 people can't even imagine one single plus 40% monthly move, because they haven't been in those periods. They don't know what it is. They think that's a thing of the past and it can't happen in the future.
Based on market conditions from January to July, he forecasts a series of events that will drive Bitcoin's price from $200,000, steadily climbing through 2025 to $500,000, with the possibility of reaching $1 million by the end of next year. This represents the fastest pace of adoption for any investable asset in human history. By the end of 2025, there will be 1.1 billion active crypto wallets, marking an unprecedented rate of growth. The speed at which this is happening is difficult to fully grasp, and it will lead to the fastest accumulation of wealth ever witnessed. This conclusion stems from a lifetime of research, with every chart and piece of evidence pointing to the same outcome. Liquidity drives everything, and crypto will emerge as the best performing asset of the coming years.
Very interesting to see. 200-week moving average, the black line, it's at 44 right now. Up 1,000K from last month, from December. And in my opinion, that slow increase will go faster next couple of months. So I think the black line, the moving average, will curve upwards like it did in 2020, 21, 2017, and here in 2013. So I think this black line will curve upwards. Then realized price, the gray line. It's the cost price of the buyers of the last 2 years, right? Here's a 2 years realized price. Cost price of the on-chain buyers last 2 years. It is $74,000, up from 71 in December. And by the way, the total realized price, so of all the on-chain buyers ever, is 43,000. So that's the same level, comparable level to the 200-week moving average. But what we see is that the realized prices are increasing about 5% each month. That's good. That's a bull market thing, but it's less than I expected. I expect 10% or 20% increases in realized prices this year. So that means that prices have to go up considerably to make that happen. Now, for the stock to flow, it predicts this average price of about $500,000 for the halving period 2024 to 2028, with a standard deviation. Of course, it will not be exactly 500,000. So the standard deviation is 2 times that, 1 million, or divided by 250K. And mind you, most other models, for example, the Power Law model, expect much lower prices. They expect something like we go from the current 100,000 to a 200,000 top this year, and then we crash back to below 100K. So that's much lower than even the lower band of the stock to flow model of 250K, and also lower than the 270,000 that we talked about based on 40% increases this year. 3 red dots, 3 RSI months of 80 plus. So very interesting to see what happens next.
The head of BlackRock's digital assets division views Bitcoin as a risk-off asset, recognizing its growing role as an alternative to traditional money for institutional investors. Despite Bitcoin's recent correlation with U.S. equities, he argues that it should be seen primarily as an emerging global monetary alternative, a scarce, decentralized, and non-sovereign asset with no country-specific ties or counterparty risk. Bitcoin is gaining attention as digital gold, especially amid concerns about fiat currency debasement and fiscal challenges worldwide. Bitcoin maximalist and MicroStrategy co-founder Michael Saylor echoed BlackRock's view, adding that Bitcoin's high volatility and potential for future use have made it a popular asset. He believes that the recent Bitcoin halving and the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs by the SEC are key factors driving Bitcoin's growing adoption. Saylor emphasized that Bitcoin's appeal is rising as concerns over money printing and economic instability continue to spread globally. Plan B's forecast remains bullish, predicting that by April 2025, the U.S. could begin building a strategic Bitcoin reserve, which might push Bitcoin's price to $400,000. He also expects a global race among countries to accumulate Bitcoin, which could bring the price to $500,000. With AI systems playing a bigger role in Bitcoin's integration into financial markets, he forecasts Bitcoin's price could reach $600,000 by June 2025, potentially hitting $1 million by the end of the year. However, he warns that this growth may not be sustainable, with a potential bear market in 2027 driving prices as low as $200,000. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.